friends, welcome to Finance Guru. I am in the SEBI Investor Portal to help you understand the risk of inflation. We all know that inflation is a silent killer and eats the purchasing power of our money over a period of time. With the help of some data points, we will evaluate what is the future cost of our household expenses. Let's for an instance take our household expenses as 50,000 rupees per month, including all the food expenses, travel expenses, etc. etc. So, annual inflation rate around India is, according to the government sources, it's somewhere around 6 to 6.5%. But the actual inflation rate is much higher. For this instance, I'm just considering it as 8%. And in a period of 10 years, we will see what is the future cost of our expenses. So, here is the future cost of our expenses. It is whoppingly 1.08 lakhs. That simply means if you are spending 50,000 rupees a month towards your household expenses, after 10 years, you should be spending 1.08 lakhs without the lifestyle inflation. That means if you are traveling in a sleeper class railway now, even if you travel in a sleeper class railway seat, after 10 years, you should be spending 1 lakh rupees in the place of 50,000 rupees. So without the lifestyle inflation, your money is losing value due to the amount of inflation rate. In the next two slides, we will just understand how the inflation rate is eating our money silently. Here is another data point from India today for the most essential goods and services which we take on the day to day basis. Food, fuel pushing prices higher. This is the actual reality which is in India right now. You can see in the first bar, the transport and communication is the inflation rate on year basis is 10.9%, and fuel and light, it is 10.8%. Although right now in Karnataka we have an electricity subsidy for a certain set of people, but still the fuel and light, the inflation rate is 10.8%. Clothing and footwear, which is very essential, is 9.9% year on year inflation. Food and beverages, again very essential, 8.1%. Health is 7.2%. Although the data point says it is 7.2%, if we look at the hospital charges and the insurance charges, if we in the major metro cities, the inflation rate is somewhere about 10 to 15%. Depends on the services, of course, but the general inflation of the rates are much higher. Here I am in the page of asset allocation calculator, which gives me an glimpse of how the asset allocation should be there and how much return you can expect when you can play with the equity exposure and the fixed income exposure. Suppose the inflation rate is around 8% and the return you expect from equity if invested for 10 or more years. Please remember, guys, equity is always for long term and it is not for the short term goals. So, the return from equity you expect is somewhere between 10 to 12%. For this instance, I'll just take 12% as the Nifty 50 from the past 29 years has given the returns of 12% per annum in a CAGR. And post tax returns from a fixed income instrument. Let's say I'm putting my money for in a fixed deposit for around 7%, and for a percent, it is asking me the percent of allocation in the equity sector. Let's say if my net worth is 10 lakh, I put my 5 lakhs, that is 50%, in an equity portfolio, right? When the equity portfolio is 50%, I'll say calculate, and it says the net expected portfolio return is 9.5%. I'm just repeating it again. If my net worth, net cash is 10 lakh rupees, I am dividing it for 50% to the equity allocation and 50%, which is safer than the equity is fixed income. That is debt, maybe the debt mutual funds, or if or an PPF, maybe the NPS, etc. So if I just reduce the percentage of the equity here, we'll see what is the effect on the net portfolio. So the net portfolio return just became 8.5%, which is very near to the inflation rate, which is 8%. So according to our risk taking ability, according to our age, when the age is lesser, you should take more risk. That is, according to the thumb rule, the 100 minus your age. Let's say my age is 30, and the equity exposure which I can take is 100 minus my age, that is 30, is equal to 70. If I put 70% of my net worth in the equity, and just say calculate 30% will be in the fixed income and 70% will be in the equity, my net portfolio return will be 10.5%, which is 2.5% more than the inflation, which means my money is growing at the real rate of return is just 2.5%. So, with the equity asset allocation calculator, you can hover around and just do some math here according to your age and according to your risk taking ability, and according to the short term and long term goals, you can decide with the asset allocation, and you can get the net expected portfolio return with the SEBI calculator here. Here you can find the website URL. I'll also pin this in my description box so that you can come back to this asset allocation calculator and try it for yourself. So by this time, you have understood, if you do not invest your money in equity markets or mutual funds, if you only invest in a fixed income instruments like PF, debt mutual funds or PPF, your money will not actually grow, and over a period of time, inflation eats up your money. So in order to grow your money, please have an proper asset allocation which helps your money to grow, to beat the inflation and create much more value in the future. So guys, thank you for watching the video. If you find value with this video, kindly subscribe to my channel and share this with your friends and colleagues who may also find it helpful. Thank you.